folks, this is Johnny. It's so good to be back doing videos. The last couple of weeks have been extremely busy with actual training sessions for Studio One users. So I had to take a couple of weeks to get those done because these guys wanted major stuff. So we're back, and what we're going to be looking at today is getting a big sound out of our electric guitars. I'm going to get a little bit away from the Studio One functions and get into a little bit of mixing and how I mix. Now, I am a minimalist when it comes to mixing. Also, I mix in a very unorthodox way. So if you're looking for new ways to mix and things to add to your mixing tool belt, we'll see if any of the tools or the ways that I use are good enough for the way you like to mix. All right, so what we're going to look at today is guitars. And we're going to be using Ampire. So let's see if we go to the classroom. Oh, actually, before that, if you guys could like and subscribe to my channel, please. It helps the channel out. If you really like me, you can go ahead and become a member. There are 3 affordable packages. Check them out. All right, so let's go here and let's look at this. I've got a drum track. Let me put the Easy Drummer track on top. Let's give it a better color than green. All right, we're going to go with blue for Easy Drummer. All right, so I have a stereo track with it hooked up to a single input. This is my guitar cable. It's going into input 16 on my Studio Live mixer, and we have that set up. So if you choose a single channel on a stereo track, it'll end up in both channels when you're actually doing your recording. So what this does is, since Ampire is a stereo plugin, it really gives you the ability to use whatever effects in stereo are for the preset you choose. All right, so the preset that I'm using is this one. It is called Metal Machine Dark Solo. Now, I've done a couple of little adjustments just to some of the EQ, but that is pretty much it. I think it's great for rhythm and for solos. Now, I am not a guitar player by any means. I definitely can't do a solo, but I can do some pretty decent rhythms. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to record some guitar tracks to this drum track, and I'm going to show you how I like to mix certain guitars, and I'm also going to show you how to take a single audio track and actually use 2 Ampire sessions with it. So let's do this. All right, let's see, what have I got here? Let me go to the top. And let me turn on the click. All right, so let's see. Just going to do a simple riff, and I am not going to loop it. There we go. Here we go. That's pretty cool the way that is. Yeah, I don't have much of a waveform, which is fine. I can actually turn up the data view. There we go. So let's see what it sounds like. All right, so now if I want a nice thick guitar sound, you know, where it comes out of both speakers, but each performance is a little different, I can do this. I can right click. And I can say duplicate track, but I don't want to duplicate track complete because it'll duplicate the performance. So I'm just going to say duplicate track. There we go. So now I'm going to go from here to down here. All right, so now I'm going to take track 1. Everybody see me do this in my acoustics, and I'm going to do a video for the acoustics as well. All right, so I'm going to take this first one, and I'm going to go hard left, and I'm going to take the one I'm going to record on now and go hard right. There we go. So now, let's see if I can pull this off. Ready? right. So let's see how that sounds. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the monitoring here. And let's see. All right, beautiful. So now, if I wanted to, I can now go into each different Ampire instance and choose a new sound. If I wanted to make the left sound a little bit different than the right, I can do all of that. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to right click and I'm going to say duplicate tracks. And I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to actually put this one in the center. Well, I don't know if this is even going to work. Let's try this. Whoops. Click track. All right, let's see what that sounds like. I don't know if I could go up there. I suppose I could have. Okay, hold on. Let me do that again. Just going to do a Command Z. All right. Okay, let's see what he goes with. Man, it's big. Okay, like I said, I am not a guitar player, and I don't play one on TV. All right, so let me go ahead and get this guy in here. We go full auto zoom. There we go. So now I can actually turn this down. Perfect. All right, so I've got these. Now I've done separate recordings for each of them. So now the other thing that I can do is I can mix these more to the center. Some people like my good friend Bobby Booth, he'll actually take things and go 50-50. So let's see what that sounds like at 50-50. There's 51. And we'll just, we'll get around there somewhere. Let's see if it makes any difference. Ready? Here we go. I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I did that at the end. All right, so you can actually change how fat the guitars are. So when you're doing your mixing, if you've got separate performances for your electric guitars, the one thing that you can do is you can do all of the verses at about 50% spread, and then for the choruses, go bam, and you can actually go full left and right to make the chorus sound a little bit thicker. All right, so here's another thing that you can do. Let me go ahead and shrink these down. I'm actually going to go ahead and duplicate this track again. Duplicate track. There we go. And I'm going to take these and I'm going to turn them down. All right. So now they shouldn't be playing. Excellent. So now if I arm this one and turn up the volume on my guitar. There we go. All right, so one of the other things that we can do is we can use the multi-instrument for this, but I'm going to do that for another video. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to duplicate this track twice. Now I have two of them, and if I arm them both and I pan them left and right, now since they have the same amps, you're not going to hear much separation. All right. But if I go ahead and I take this one and I change the amp, so let me actually turn off this, and temporarily I'm going to bring it up center. Okay, so let's choose a different amp. Let's see, here's one. Okay, so what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to turn off the delays. And I'm going to turn down the track overall. And I'm going to pan him. Now, I got two separate amps here. So, I could do it this way. All right. You might be thinking, okay, that's still really close together. I don't really hear the separation like I did on the other tracks. So, one of the things that I can do with this is, go ahead and disarm these, is I can now go into, like, let's say the second track. And let's go to the delay setting. There we go, delay. So let's go minus. I'm going to get up to minus 30 milliseconds. Okay, let's see if this helps at all. So now the cool part about this is you can choose two different amplifiers and you can use the same guitar performance, record it on two separate tracks, arm them both, and go ahead and do the recording. This gives you a little bit more of a speedy workflow to do this. But if you think about it, let me actually get these back up here. But if you think about it, if you listen to the two separate performances, I don't know, it just has a little bit of a better sound. So it makes a huge, huge difference. Sorry, that was so loud, guys. All right, so now if I mute and bring these guys up. All right, so what if we bring everybody in? All right, so you hear some heavy duty guitar layering. Let's get that little high note thing going there, and away we go. Well, that is huge. So you can see that if you're actually getting into mixing, a lot of these adjustments are really going to also depend on the backtrack, your bass and your drums, and any other instrument that you actually might have going on in the background. What I wanted to do is I wanted to teach you guys a little bit of audio spacing, the stereo field, the different things that you can do to get a thick sound. If you're in a hurry, you can arm two tracks, that record from the same input like what I'm doing here. You can pan them and then put 2 different amps on each channel, or you can do it the old-fashioned way and do the tracks one at a time and then pan them to your taste. All right, so the next one up is going to be acoustic guitars. There's a little bit of a different thing that you can do there. We're going to play around with 1 mic, we're going to play around with 2 mics, and we're going to see what we can get with different stereo separation. Now, those of you that have been following my channel for a while, you guys know how I love my acoustic guitars, left and right, 2 separate performances, dry, no effects, no nothing. So I hope that you guys found this helpful, and I'll see you all in the next video.